tuned into What the Music, and boy, do I have a great guest for you and great band, the Thirsty Curses. I have with me, and man, I gotta say, going out the gate, you were my first interview of 2022, and I couldn't be more ecstatic about that. And of course, with me is Wilson from the band. He does the vocals, guitar, piano, and he does the songwriting. So thank you so much for coming on. And I gotta tell you, it's been a minute since I've been able to get somebody on, just because of kind of like my life and the way things have turned around. And I usually have tons of time to devote to bands, but that time is now come and gone. And finding bands, I don't know if it's because like my time is like so slim now, and finding a good band is hard, or that there's just not that many good bands out there. But lo and behold, I found you guys. How has your time been so far? Did it take you a while to get you kind of back into the groove of things?
So we really weren't active at all for, 6 months out of it. I mean, we were still practicing here and there, but even that was pretty weird. So, yeah, and I'd say even now, 2021, we did like a fair amount of live performances and stuff, but it was still, hit or miss. But, yeah, it's still, we're also kind of trying to get back in the swing of things, I guess.
To the Ends of the Earth, which is currently available everywhere. I'm going to have all the links on the show notes to the Spotifys, the Apples, and everywhere else that you could find it. And of course, if worst case scenario, just go to thirstycurses.com for all your needs, because I absolutely adore this album, and it's making me want to go. Yeah, it's making me want to go into your back catalog. In doing so, I really dug just kind of the comic writing. I don't know if that's the right word, but
yeah, there's a lot of things are pretty tongue in cheek. Sometimes it deals with serious stuff, but I don't know. Kind of have a hard time taking myself too seriously.
Yeah, do you gravitate towards like comedic bands? Like I love Flight of the Conchords.
I love bands like that for sure. It's not like my main go-to or anything, but I definitely like bands like Flight of the Conchords, or I don't know. I was actually just listening to this old band that I used to listen to from Arizona called I Hate You When You're Pregnant. That was like disco, but like, I don't know, the songs were just hilarious. But yes, I do like a good comedy band.
Yeah, do you think that's why you write the way you do, or do you think you're just so cynical that you have no choice to write like that?
Yeah, I guess more the latter. I try to be cynical, but I can't keep up, as they say. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a reflection of my worldview, I guess, the way I write and the way I think about things. But yeah, it's like I don't know. I guess I sometimes ponder serious stuff, but even then, you got to kind of got to check yourself. You can't take yourself too seriously, I guess, is sort of my outlook on things generally.
This album, To the Ends of the Earth, doesn't take itself too seriously. The song Whistle Pig, I know that song, was in your back catalog for a while, and it took a while for you to kind of hone in and get that song just well crafted.
Like Whistle Pig, well, that music had been kicking around for a while, at least like the basic couple riffs within it. And so I don't know, it just had been it had been floating around, and at one day, like something just kind of came and I let it flow, and I guess it just kind of happens like that. And and songs that I write pretty quickly, it just flows like that, and then you let it kind of take over in a way.
I almost feel like you're rapping in this song, yeah. and it's kind of, I think, the most, as far as like your vocal style, the most different in all these songs that you have in this particular album, which is out now, To the Ends of the Earth.
Thirsty Curses, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true. Sometimes you have things friends say to you that stick with you, and I remember a friend a couple years ago saying that I should like explore more with what I could do vocally, and kind of I think sometimes like a Beatlesque approach or like things like that, like just more standard sort of rock and roll vocals. I've historically leaned to. So yeah, I mean, Whistle Pig was, sort of a conscious choice to try something different, but it also just kind of flowed with it. Like I said, how it had been kind of kicking around for a while, like previous attempts at vocal lines hadn't really worked. So it was like definitely an intentional thing to kind of try to just do something different to find a pathway forward for the song.
And it definitely works in this. And I know we were supposed to have on the bass player, which is also your director for a lot of your music videos, Clayton.
Yeah. We also did a video for Nothing Really Matters off of this album. That's pretty cool too, where we were like went and we went to a go-kart race, and we all like were dressed in matching uniforms and stuff, and like I don't know that. So I mean, we do a lot of original ones too, where we're like out and actually filming stuff. Clay is certainly more heading up those and making those come to pass.
You know, I was watching your videos. You know how the cue just kind of puts on, and it was the song "Smash Hit," and man, I thought that was so cool. You know, with the wrestlers and stuff like that.
Those people who haven't seen it, it's basically it takes place in a wrestling ring, like WWF style. We'd actually played some shows a couple years ago with a girl who I knew was in a wrestling family, and it really does tend to run like that. It seems that like it kind of. But anyway, she put me in touch with her sister, who was like an active wrestler, and she put me in touch with this like wrestling school in Greensboro called Firestar Wrestling. I didn't know there were such things as professional wrestling schools, but there are. Anyway, so they let us come and film, and like a lot of the students who were, wanted to kind of get some exposure, were happy to participate in that video for free. It was pretty awesome. I think we spent like $250 on that. You know?
I'm sure it was all on beer too, right?
Yeah, that and like pizza and stuff. But we, we did that and another one during the pandemic that kind of. I think we were able to, we did another one called Bruises on Your Shoulders, where we actually enlisted like a bunch of local play actors, and it's like sort of a one-shot like stage play themed video. But in both of those cases, it was like during the summer of 2020, where I think these two different groups of performers, wrestlers and stage actors, really didn't have much to do. So we were kind of able to enlist them to help us with some music videos.
Yeah, very cool. So I'll have a link to your guys' YouTube on the show notes for those that want to go check it out. You're in for such a fun time with their music videos. Go ahead and check out their album, To the Ends of the Earth. And I'll have links to the Spotify as well for you guys to go check that out. Also wanted to touch upon life of being an artist. You know, I know it sounds so crazy. And when you hear that, do you believe that you're an artist?
I guess I do now. I definitely had imposter syndrome about that for a long time. I would even be like self-conscious about carrying like a guitar around sometimes or whatever, but I feel pretty comfortable with that term, I guess, you know. I think it's just really having something to do.
Two last things before I let you go, and thank you again for coming on, and you know,
I wish the other guys could be here, but you know, we because we're not famous or whatever, we all have jobs and stuff. And
I mean, you guys are famous to me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I heard you guys, and I was like, okay, these guys are cool, you know, and that's why I did.
We're cool. We're cool. We're not famous.
But I mean, aren't those two the same thing? You know, cool and famous.
Maybe it's maybe in the future and maybe in the past. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know. We don't even really want to get famous as much as it. Definitely would like people to hear the music, and you know, we take it very seriously and we put a lot of work into it. So
Yeah, and I think it's paying off. If I can listen to it and say, hey, I want to know these guys, I want to, talk to them, then I personally believe that that's working. That's why I developed this show, was so I can meet you guys. No, I'm just kidding. No, I developed this show so
I'll come down
and vice versa. I believe in you guys and you guys believe in me, and together we are believable. You know what I mean?
Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Fine.
Now, something happened to me today, and it made me think of this last question. And, I'm not going to give too many details from where I work or anything like that, but the supply truck couldn't get to us. And so we had to go walk at least a half a mile and bring carts and stuff to load them up and then go back and, get our supplies and put them back in. And today I was just like, I wonder if the band has ever, gone through something like that where, they couldn't find parking and they couldn't, load their gear into the venue, and they had to essentially trek a mile just to get their gear into the venue.
Stuff happens all the time where we're basically, we broke down last summer at one point too. Like we were, driving in the middle of the night to get to another gig and ended up at just stuck at this random gas station and random place in Virginia somewhere for the night. And I don't know, incidentally, we actually got some footage from that breakdown that's in the beginning of our Nothing Really Matters video where there's a guy walking down the street. We were just stuck for hours. But, yes, plenty of times where things don't go according to plan. And then you have to kind of scramble and figure out what to do. So that's kind of the rule rather than the exception.
But you know what? I looked at it as a team building exercise, and I don't know if you guys view it as that or.
It can be, but it's not always. Yeah, my band's cool too.
Yeah.
We just put out a record called To the Ends of the Earth. It's got cool songs on it like Jenny, Whistle Pig, Vera, and Your Next Move, and lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, and we are going to leave with Your Next Move, and I think that is one of my all-time favorite songs off of that album. I know a lot of play has been going on with Nothing Really Matters, but I tend to feel that Your Next Move is the best, kind of song on that album. To me, it's about finalizing and realizing what you want to do with your life and just going out and doing it. I mean, that's my interpretation. I don't know if that's what it's about, but
yeah, pretty much. That's pretty spot on. No, and it's I like Nothing Really Matters a lot too, but it's not necessarily representative. But I guess that's one thing that I do like about our little band is that I think there's something there for everybody. Your Next Move is, piano power pop, and then Nothing Really Matters is hardcore punk, and, Whistle Pig's psychedelic grunge, so it's I don't know. It's hopefully it's something for everybody. There's a couple alt country tunes on the record, so yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And make sure you guys go check out Thirsty Curses at thirstycurses.com. And again, if you can't write that down, just go ahead and Google search them, and
we're the only Thirsty Curses around.
It's true. I Google searched you guys, and I'm like, I can't believe it. No one else is humped on this name, So
there's a magic card or something like that game that was the Thirst of the Curse or the Curse of the Thirst. But that's the closest thing I've ever been able to find in the Googles.
Okay. I didn't even find that. I didn't go that deep diving, to be fair. I only went
This was in the early days.
Okay. And saying you guys have, solidified that name. So very cool. Wilson, thank you again for coming on the show and being so candid with me. Truly appreciate it. And I want you guys to truly appreciate the band and their album To the Ends of the Earth. I highly recommend it. and, show them some love, play them some spins, tell your friends, and most importantly, log on to thirstycurses.com. We are going to leave you now with the coup de grace, in my personal opinion. We've been talking about it, so now let's just play it. And here is your next move. And thank you so much again to Thirsty Curses for being a part of the program. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Facebook.
You better think long and hard about your next move. No